Thank you. All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to our regularly scheduled September board meeting. Consider ourselves called to order. First of all, I'd like to thank Dilhara for sitting in for me last month. I'm sure you all enjoyed the respite from me. And she got to exercise her vice presidential capacity, so I really appreciate her doing that. But I'm glad to be back. I will entertain a motion for approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay.
Who's taking the?
I was gonna say, Renee, will you take minutes? It's been moved and properly seconded that we would approve the agenda as printed. Any discussion? All those in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Can't.
All right, we're not. All right. 1 month off and I'll on my way. All right, so we'll save that for later. We do have a member of the public with us tonight, so why don't we extend the floor to you? Please introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from here. Yeah, if you don't mind, stand up if you don't mind.
Whatever you want.
I have a handout for each of you, and I apologize about the graphic nature of it, but it goes to write what I wanted to address. So feel free to skip it if you don't want it, or you take one. But I just want to, hi, I'm Ryan Fluch. I am an Hello Library Trustees. Thank you for hearing me tonight. I live and work in Farmington Hills. I have 4 children. And I have long been concerned about the sexualized, violent, and even pornographic nature of the adult graphic novels that are sometimes displayed in the main lobby of this library. What you're looking at right now is the actual display. Those are the books on the shelf right now. That you can walk down there. That's the display today. These displays have no restrictions or warnings, and yet you can see many contain, actually I didn't highlight all the graphic violence, which I can slide on, but today I just wanted to hit they contain nudity and depictions of sexual intercourse. Children like mine are naturally drawn to visually oriented books, and with the growing graphic novel section in the children's area, I worry that young eyes could be innocently drawn to these prominent displays, opening the door to adult content and the loss of innocence. So I'm asking the library staff to make a focused effort to not highlight books with sexually explicit content in such central displays. These materials can be elsewhere, but not in a way that risks exposure to children. Just as an aside, the nature of how these are displayed could also open up the library and our city to a violation of Michigan law, which would be sad to me. MCL 722.675, the disseminating of sexually explicit content, where it's displayed, and these laws just have to have display where there's sexual content available to a minor. There's prison and fines, but the second one has a little more closer to home. MCL 722.677, displaying sexually explicit matter to a minor. This applies to persons who have managerial responsibility for a business, and they knowingly display content that shows sexual intercourse, abuse, and harmful to minors. So unless it's displayed, if it's moved to a restricted area, that's how the law works. It needs to be in a restricted area. So I believe such content, I agree, and I believe such content should be placed in a restricted area, accessible to adults and patrons who want to view it, but not displayed prominently. Current practices to me seem vulnerable in many ways, and I ask that you would update your policies immediately. Appreciate you listening to me and hearing my comments.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your comments. I'm sure staff, Kelly will probably be in touch. Did you leave your contact information for us there?
All right.
Back in touch with you.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate all you do.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. All right. I think then we will move on to the Friends of the Library report. Stacy,
Hi,
floor
Erin.
is yours.
Thank you so much. A few quick things. We are interviewing for open board positions next week. They're sort of informal interviews with people who are either officers or on the board who have volunteered to do it. So I'm excited about that. A reminder that we are going to be at the Harvest Moon Festival and we'll be pouring and asking for tips and having a good time. So if you want to come out, and maybe the weather will be nice, and we're doing that the 19th.
It's next Friday, and we're at the 8:45 to 11 time slot.
Thanks to Maria Shoich Gallup and her amazing organizational skills and ability to be at these amazing meetings. She's such a great meeting person. Right. And so come on out, it should be fun. Upcoming events on October 20th, Catherine Center will be at the library presenting as part of our author series, and staff is fangirling as we speak, or fanboying, I would suppose, depending, on how you feel about that. And Rebecca Brown will be doing the interviewing and presenting, so very excited about that. And we are having our October book sale on October 23rd through the 25th. This is a different time frame. We're going to have the Friends preview on Thursday evening, October 23rd. Sale on Friday from 10ish to about 5:45. And then our Saturday book sale is going to have shortened hours, 10 to 2 or 10 to 3, depending. And I think we're looking at Saturday as a tailgate sale because this is the Michigan State football game. So I know it tends to get a little quiet.
And you run the game while the people are playing.
Well, because we're going to be in what was the quiet study room, thanks to all of you guys, we might be able to do that. So who knows, maybe that will be a draw, and we'll sell all the football books. So if you're interested in volunteering for that, let me know. I'm helping Bonnie King put together the list of volunteers. And just a reminder that the Friends had a motion that was approved to use $45,000 from our endowment fund for the outside study area and to raise the remaining projected cost of $45,000 through any fundraising that we were to do, probably outside of what the Friends raises from their membership base. So I would like the library to keep that in mind as part of something that does not need to go into it come out of the capital funds cost, because you're using capital funds. Yes, for the project. Thank you. We are super happy to do that. And, I was so excited to see what the schematics look like for that. It looks good. And be wonderful. And then we're looking at Giving Tuesday, and we might wrap that into the outside study area, but we might also have a special project that staff would like to promote to see how well that goes. I know that when we did the Library of Things in 2022, it was pretty successful, and it seems to be a successful collection in terms of the interest and circulation of it. So that's been really great. And as you know, especially you all who are on social media, it's a big thing in the library world, and it really helps to highlight. So that's what we've got so far. And we have some members next month. Do you have any questions?
No questions, but thank you for your support as always. Certainly appreciate the offset of capital expense. The capital expense that we are about to step into is kind of on everyone's minds, and there's lots of different conversations going on around that and communicating that to the public. I had a chance to meet up with Sarah yesterday to kind of align with her on her communication strategy around it, right? A big piece of that will be coordinating with the staff committee. That's kind of identifying some opportunities that are there, along with the finance committee. So hopefully we could be helpful. and come together with a coordinated plan so that we can go out there and offset expenses to the taxpayer just a little bit. So thank you, Stacey, for everything you do.
Absolutely.
All right, I think that will take us to the director's report. So Kelly, turn it over to you.
Okay, so, we met with MCD Architects to review the conceptual design drawings briefly a couple weeks ago. So he did have some 3D renditions, which we can't show in public because they're not ready for viewing yet. The facilities committee saw them, so maybe after the meeting or something, you can take a look at. They're very conceptual. They're not written in stone, which is why they don't want to share them out there yet. They are
And
amazing.
I said, you didn't do exactly what I saw at that very first meeting. Yeah.
Right, so they're not ready for public consumption yet. Good news, Detroit Free Press, Detroit News, USA Today is now digital or will be soon. We're working out the kinks of that. And all you need to do is complete the sign up process and then you can view each paper online along with our New York Times and our Wall Street Journal.
Does that mean that we'll stop the paper?
Oh, no,
I didn't think
no,
so.
no. Until they're gone.
Yeah.
Hey, let's be honest, right?
We're gonna be Pollyanna. It's gonna last.
Okay.
Bye.
So the audit is underway. You should have gotten emails from the auditor this week sometime about things that you need to send back. In October, the auditors will be here for their presentation for that meeting. Retiree healthcare renewal came up. It was just a $15 increase to the monthly, so everything was good there. I do believe you had in your board packet this CBIZ actuary OPEB interim year disclosure. And this is the one that we're looking at where we have that overage in there and we're now gonna use the trust. The current numbers, I believe, are like down a little bit. I think it was in your packet.
Oh, in the packet, yeah.
So just FYI on that. And then really exciting, we know Patron Point, which we approved back in December, is up and running. And so you have full access to online card applications and you get an immediate card number. And you can also do digital cards now. And so if you, there's a link on the webpage, and if you sign up, you can have the card put in your wallet, and it's the cutest little card.
Excellent. Excellent.
So can I just tell you a little story today about that? So we have this regular patron who comes in. It's like, I really gotta get my husband in here to get a library card. I was like, you don't have to come in here anymore. You just go right here, fill this out, and he will get a card. She goes, oh, that's amazing.
I think that is super.
And the
awesome.
first week, we had 14 people sign up online. I don't know what it is now, so like it was.
So if I have an existing card,
You
can
just-
I add my existing card to my wallet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a place on the, when you look at the web pages now, where there's a tab that says library cards and it gives all the information. So you would just like put in your information and then it would link your card and then it shows up. You get a little.
Does it verify the identity online?
Just like you would when you put in a credit card. Sign up online for a credit card.
Remember, this was when we approved Patron Point. I think this was a point of conversation because it was like that whole authentication process where they go through and say like, which street have you lived on in the past, or have you worked at these places or whatever. You got to answer those questions, right? Okay.
Yeah, so it's exciting. We also, I had some things. It's so many uses. Oh, okay. So this is the last. Oh, September, library card sign up. So we have these cute little stickers. I took the cutest ones. The sloth and the teacup. So you can go down and talk to somebody at the desk and you basically get a sticker as a.
You only get one
You
per
only get
day,
one,
but
yeah.
you know what?
So I get two.
It's already how many days past you can get them.
Right. But they're so, so there's that. And then, We have swag giveaways. Anyone who uses their FCL card this month to check out physical or digital items will be automatically entered into a drawing. So it's fun. Staff is not included,
Oh,
but
okay.
the board is probably included. Yeah, that's what. But yeah, so that's that, and then, okay, a couple things that were not on the thing that I did put in your packet. One was the turnover rate overtime bereavement, which is what I give you every year. Just to keep. You should have that. Okay, so, any questions? I feel like there were questions. But I don't know how to answer questions other than to say people are dying, so I don't know if that's.
Kelly, it said that on, your notes that you can sign up for one paper, someone can sign up and get all the papers free.
You can go all of, like, one login will get you access to all three of them.
And why is it free? Who's paying for this service?
Oh, it's not. Oh, it's not. It's free to you. To patrons, it's free.
Oh, it's only digital, it's not free.
It's only digital, but it's free. I mean, it's free to the patrons to use, but we pay.
Yeah, that's, I mean.
Yeah, a
we're
pretty
just-
penny.
Yes, it is. Is it expensive for us to pick up all three papers like that?
Well, it comes as a bundle.
Okay.
And we're getting a discount through TLN. It was a TLN consortium deal.
I will say, Jill and Kelly, I'm interested in understanding the subscription cost and kind of how that has, I'm sure, been growing over time. Just so we can understand it, right, as a board, because,
Because it was costing us $50,000 a year or $5,000.
5,
yeah.
except for Hoopla. Hoopla's another story.
And I'm really more concerned about the usage too. I'm really interested to know like how the usage of the services
Right.
have grown.
Right.
As I'm sure they have.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the things that we talked about, we're in the process of revamping the statistics, our statistical gathering. And in fact, do we have the new format stats this month, or maybe it's next? No. Yeah, okay, so we've reformatted those stats, but we've also talked about on a quarterly basis, providing like a deep dive stat into like in a particular area. So for instance, 1 month, we may give a 3-month deep dive into like our ebook usage and the cost and like how much of that is Hoopla, how much is Libby, how much is e-audio versus ebook. And so databases and online learning could be another kind of deep dive quarterly that we present to the board, like the database is the cost per usage.
I love that. And I love you bite sizing it out because we can only digest so much at a time. I think that's a good approach.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Any
let's
other-
talk
yeah.
about any questions about the overtime and the turnover rate bereavement handout.
Overtime costs seem to be pretty steady, going year to year, and actually decreasing.
Bereavement is up quite a bit. I'm a little concerned. So many people are dying. I mean. Yeah, we unfortunately have like several staff members who lost multiple family members last year. Some kind of tragically too.
Yeah. I think, it's like anything else, it kind of ebbs and flows with what's happening around us. At the same time, though, it is important to kind of be tracking it as we are, right, reporting out on it. But also making sure we've got the right rigor there around the process of usage, right? And so I'm sure we do, but that's probably something you can inform the personnel committee around. And next personnel committee meeting, maybe have some more insight into kind of what that looks like. That would be the question. Yeah. Thank you.
Julian was talking about deep dive. That's a little item where you would deep dive in and see how many people took it and did they do it more than once? And did they
Yeah,
have
several
pretty relevant-
did.
But actually going through the stats for the last couple of years would be deep diving and seeing what really kind of is happening under the surface.
I'm just curious from my own understanding, what might be some of the reasons for the overtime? Like, what are some of those things that require the necessity?
So on Fridays and Saturdays, it's Friday, Saturdays and Sundays, because we open at 10 and we close at 6:15. So you have to be there 15 minutes before if you work in 8. So now you're either working 9:45 to 6:15. It's those 15-minute increments. And then on Sunday, you have to be there. What are we open? 12:45 to 5:15 because no one leaves right at 5 and you have to be ready before you get in. So it's those instances where, but this past, well, this isn't in this one, but this past couple months, well, August was the gentleman who was stranded by the flex bus systems. Oh, and that's like a 45-minute out, and you have to pay staff, have to stay. Or children who get left at closing, you can't leave them either. So those are those random ones that happen. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Good question. And we were talking earlier this week. I think we've got people using us for elder care, the variety of types of services that can be falling into that situation. All right. So Kelly, anything else for your report?
The strategic, you did. Okay, I'm gonna go chat with you about the strategic plan for a few minutes. Okay, I gave you the 1-page little thing because that's the easy one instead of the one. And so, what we do is we look at this every year to see, what we hit the previous year, we set goals, what we hit the previous year, and what we want to do for the next year. So I typed this one up because this kind of tells you where our focus is. And so this is like this, but it gives you the activities that we've done. And there's a little thing down on the bottom of the page about with color code, what's in progress, what's been completed. And this is since we've had the plan. So if you look at the document itself and go, I kind should put page numbers on it because now I'm really confused. Hang on. Oh, here we go. Okay. So you can see that goal 1.2 is a big one with providing barrier-free access to resources, that we've been focusing on that, through, and you can see we've eliminated meeting room reservation fees. We did the digital library cards and a way that they don't have to come in and the card expires anymore, it just automatically renews. But we provided the after-hour pickups, those kind of things. So we have a lot there. But then if you look at the cultivate curiosity, that's a big one. And a lot of that has to do with staff, putting the investment in staff and staff training and that kind of stuff. So, but this is like, it gives you a snapshot of where we at, and we add to these all the time. But I do want to tell you, there's one that is board related, and that is, let me find out here. Oh, so under goal 3.3 on the very last page, it's the goal is to ensure a sustainable future through prudential financial planning and intentional board development. So, we have in progress develop fundraising and sponsorship strategy because that's what you're currently talking about. However, the other one is to establish a recruitment process for new board members. I mean, that's something that we put that out there. I feel like it's important for you to do that, but
Yeah, I appreciate that, Kelly. It's really important, and it's important for us to work with our partners at the city councils as a part of that. So we'll take that, and we'll probably take that personnel committee maybe. That's a good place to start.
And then, I gave this to you so that you see what we have put on, because we add to it every year. But you also and you can suggest items too to add to the list if there's something that you don't feel that we're hitting, or you have suggestions. So I want you to have this to see what we've already put on here, but what if there's something we're missing as we go down the road.
Yeah, I appreciate that, and I appreciate the transparency and giving the board the opportunity for input. As we're going through this, since we have such a long plan, right? It's going to be important for us to inspect and tweak it, and I think we all know it won't be what we wrote down 2 years ago, right?
Right.
But maybe have someone from the staff committee come at least maybe twice a year to just sync us up on where things are, what you're thinking, if things are changing, if you're seeing different indicators, that might be causing us to make some changes. And we can also give input as well, but I think this is great. Now, I have some questions about some of these that I will ask you offline, just about,
Okay.
like the ones that are in progress, understanding like if there are particular blockers or, what is the status of the progress or, just some understanding, but this is great.
Just make sure. Oh, just FYI, I do have T-shirts here in the box that you can look through if you didn't get a T-shirt and you want one, various sizes in that box there. So like that, all these little notes here, hold on. Oh, I think I mentioned this to somebody, but the adult department computer area needs chairs. I'm getting quotes on different chairs, but it's like $18,000 to $25,000. I'm just telling you, so it's in the furnishings budget. But I probably would bring it to you for approval because it's over the $15,000 mark, but once we decide, like.
You did get quotes for auditorium chairs, right?
I did,
Okay,
but we didn't, but I think the ones he gave us were the plastic ones and you were looking for something different,
okay,
more comfortable.
okay.
So.
Well, that's what I hear from patrons when I'm in there attending. I've heard people literally say, like, you can only sit in these chairs so long. Like, I've heard everybody's heard people say that. So,
2002, right?
I'm just.
Right.
Like, it seems
Yeah.
like might be a desire for something different, so.
Yeah.
Okay,
But the computer chairs down there are from 2002 also. And they're like,
and they like swivel. and all that
I
stuff.
won't sit
They're not adjustable at this point anymore. They just stopped.
Oh, like this.
in. Yeah.
Okay, we will expect that.
Yeah, so as soon as I get that together. I think, do you have any questions for me? Keep it as a summary.
Well, just a warning I put in there for you, Mr. President, and that's because strategic plans is a big part of my day job, and I apologize for being late because that's where I'm going. And I know we've had some study sessions before relative to strategic plan, but I'm just genuinely curious and fascinated about like the activity and the progress markers. And so I wonder if there'd be an opportunity for a future study session around the progress markers and the activities in the strategic plan.
I think that would be great. Yeah, I think maybe between now and the end of the year or the start of the year, we can figure out how to do that before this short timer. Yeah, that's a great idea. Yeah, it's
Before January.
It'll give us a chance to kind of really dig in, and all the questions I have probably will be answered, so it'd be great.
I do think that the activity about board established recruitment should have should be an X in that box. And I think that it's important that the board take a good line of how the candidates are selected and suggest some to the cities. Suggest people that, that it would complement the existing board, rather than all of a sudden, somebody gets appointed and you don't know much about them. And I think that process is something that hasn't been explored and in the past has been a problem.
Yes, now I will say, along those lines, because of some of the problems under Danette Wilner's leadership, the board approved new bylaws that provided a provision for this board to do just that, kind of make selections and provide recommendations. And so at the immediate appointment, after those changes, the next appointment that came up, we offered that to Mayor Barnett, and she was like, yes, thank you. That's great.
Yeah.
And we actually extended recommendations to her. And I think we have that opportunity and we should formalize it. But the decisions ultimately will reside with the council. So, but I agree with you, Sharon, that we should put forth our suggestions. Yeah. All right. Kelly, I think we have a few staff members.
We have Wes and Stacy with us today with a presentation, and I'm gonna trade seats with you so that you can handle your presentation as soon as I share. You go. You want to go up there?
Yeah, just hang out too.
Hello, everybody. My name is Wes. I'm an adult services librarian here at the Farmington Library. This is my colleague Stacy. She's an information specialist, also in the adult services department. And we wanted to present today on some non-traditional collections here at the library that we offer, just kind of give you like mostly a visual glimpse into some of the stuff that we've been able to offer outside of books, DVDs, media, things like that. So as some of you may have seen from our recent social media video, we have a Library of Things collection, items that patrons can check out with their FCL card from a variety of categories for up to 2 weeks. And they come in a variety of categories like outdoor games and sports. So we have cornhole, we have Jenga, bocce ball, pickleball, wide variety of stuff. It's definitely our most popular category. In terms of technology, we have media players like DVD and Blu-ray players, record players, cricket machines people can check out, microphones and webcams being 2 recent additions there. Stuff that we group under science and discovery, such as our microscopes, telescopes, human body models, a variety of them, kind of all in one kit, bird watching kit. It's a good variety of stuff. And then another category to highlight would be health and wellness. So we have walkers, rolling ones, as well as folding ones, indoor air quality testers, seasonal affect disorder lights or therapy lights, and blood pressure monitors, which are coming soon. There's definitely more categories, but seems like a good glimpse into that collection in particular. I also manage our board games and puzzles collection, and we've got a really wide variety of stuff that people love to check out, just to highlight some popular ones. Can't forget Exploding Kittens. Definitely a popular collection. We're hoping to do more programming around this one. As of now, we have our FCL Game Day event with Oakland County gamers who come in and give folks a space to play board games and learn about how to play new board games as well that they may not be familiar with. We also have a puzzle table at both of our locations, which I've heard is very, very popular. We are hoping to expand for sure in the programming side of things. In addition to all of that, I also manage our seed library, around which we offer a wide variety of different gardening related programs, such as things on container gardening, backyard composting, growing herbs, growing vegetables, our annual plant swap, all funded through a grant through Bosch. It's including as well our seed library kickoff event where, speaking from the past 2 years of experience, literally hundreds of people show up to get their seeds at the start of the growing season. It is a massively popular program and very fun to be a part of. And so with that, I will turn things over to Stacy to talk about some of the devices that we offer in our heritage room.
So, with our heritage room, it's more of like a maker space type area, so we're trying to go for everything. So like right now, we currently have a 3D printer. It's a Dremel Digilab 3D printer, and it does do monochromatic. And actually, I have a couple examples here. So this is one that has a little bit of movement. So pass it around that way. This one, how long did this one take, do you think?
But it's a high quality one.
This is a high, yeah, according to us, this is a high
Take it.
quality.
Is it from Easter Island?
But it's one of the things, we have the VHS DVD converter, which we just, is that only up this year?
Yeah, so it allows folks to convert their VHS tapes and their DVDs to MP4s and digitize their files and preserve their media.
The slide converter, Cricut Explorer, it's an older Cricut, but we're looking to kind of keep it useful. And I'm actually looking forward to doing like some programming where I can maybe utilize the Cricut and some of the other things in the programming to kind of help promote it to other, to people so they know, hey, we have this, this kind of stuff you can do with it and everything. And then with us, the cassette and CD converter, which I think that's one that I haven't had as much use for lately, but I think that's something that we're still gonna keep for a bit.
One of the less popular ones, but same as the VHS and DVD, allows people to convert tapes and CDs to MP3s. Thank you.
And then we're hoping to kind of bring some more stuff in. So these are things that we don't have yet, but we're looking at probably doing, because we want to kind of turn it into like a neighborhood where you have some creativity and productivity in my area. Stuff, so like sewing machines, you know, and then maybe that could also do some programming along that. A lot of people will ask us for paper trimmers and laminating. So we feel that those would be very popular items. One thing we are trying to figure out though is if we will have to charge for laminating supplies, just because, yeah. So that's one thing we're trying to suss out. The drawing tablet was one that we were looking at doing where we can pair that with the Adobe Creative Suite that we have available on several of the public computers. The button maker, I think would be a fun one for some people to have, you know, just fun. And that would also be one we might have to look at costs for that as well and stuff. And then the photo scanner, I think would be very popular for people that want to kind of digitize their photos as well. Another thing I don't think we made a slide for was we were wanting to do some experience kits and stuff. And that would be like, we took a trip to one of the local libraries and they had kind of this idea too. And, you know, where you have like a kit put together where they just check out the kit and it might be like all the information on how to do book binding, all the information on how to do gift bag making or Zentangles, where it's just kind of like a fun thing to do, but it's not like they don't have to go find the books, they don't have to go find this and that sort of thing. So that's one thing we're kind of like throwing around as an idea and stuff. So we're kind of excited about that. I think that's everything.
Yes. Just a quick roundup, actually, while we're talking about future plans. Another collection that was recently approved into the budget and that I'm hoping to bring sometime later this year is a vinyl record collection, which Stacy from the Friends has been helping out with as well. So that one's also on the horizon very soon, just in terms of unconventional collections.
Now, are these going to be new records or can they be donated records?
I imagine it'd probably be a combination of both. Right now, I'm actually looking into partnering up with Dearborn Music, their Farmington location, to see if they'd be willing to, have us purchase records from them, and maybe potentially partner in the future with for programming purposes. But donations are, would I imagine, be too. So we have one last bit of fun. A question for the board members. Which Muppet are you? So for context, earlier this year, Stacy and I were having a bit of fun and took a BuzzFeed quiz to determine which Muppet we were. Eventually, it spread to the rest of the adult department. Other library staff started to hear about it, be like, I want to take the Muppet quiz. And they started taking the Muppet quiz. We got dozens and dozens of responses. I started putting it into a spreadsheet. It was a whole thing. So we want to extend the fun to you. We have a QR code that you can scan that will take you to the BuzzFeed quiz. And we would love to hear what your Muppet results are.
Oh, I think we'd love to hear the results as well. No, mine's defaulted though.
I have a strong suspicion. What it could be.
Please, you should tell me your quotes
Yeah.
Oh, of course. I'm Gonzo.
I'm Fozzie.
Oh.
I'm also Fozzie.
Yeah, that's good.
I was at an obscure one. What was I? The fish?
Fish guy, New Zealand.
Oh, yeah.
I was Miss Piggy.
Of course you were.
So much about it.
Very fabulous. I have a few questions about the presentation. Thank you all very much. The Library of Things is something that is of interest everywhere we go. I think everybody loves to talk about it. So when Jill first brought it up, it was an exciting thing, right? And you guys have continued to nurture this idea. And it's interesting to me to see what the different libraries have. When we went to a meeting, we got to see everybody's kind of interpretation of the Library of Things. And everybody has a few things that are a little bit different. They're like, oh, okay, I would have thought of that. You mentioned with the tablet, like some programming. I love the way you're kind of thinking about a lot of programming to the things, right? Some Adobe education, I'm assuming, or some type of.
So we have Adobe Creative Suite on some of our computers already.
Yeah, the ones that are in the heritage room right now, where some of the conversion station stuff is. I know we recently switched to different. We took them off some of the other public computers, but as we grow the neighborhood, we're hoping to expand on that for sure and offer folks that kind of creative outlet.
Yeah, but even just having access to that software could be a game changer for somebody because it's pretty expensive to have a subscription or buy it outright. Yeah.
Exactly.
We have a couple of animals in our department, right?
Oh, yeah, animals. It's fun.
I have a question about the 3D maker, 3D printer. Assuming people come in with their file, that's one thing, right? And then you need the material, have the material they need to make their thing, or they need to bring their material. How does that work?
So in our case, actually, all they need is the file. So they'll bring us their STL file. We plug it into our software and it tells us like it's gonna weigh this much. It's gonna take this long to actually print, and then we calculate, or the software itself calculates like this is how much it's gonna cost approximately. And then we specify the color and all the different like other specifications. And then once it's done, we print it for them. So we have a number of different colors of filament on hand to do their jobs.
Charge them, right?
Yes, yeah. So it's the exact rate is like it's a minimum cost of $1 just to make it worthwhile. And then I believe it's 25 cents for every half hour beyond an hour and a half, and it kind of goes up in increments from there if it's a longer, more involved job.
Like, how much did this cost? Do we know? Or how much would a thing like this cost?
Theoretically, so I know it must have been less than 12 hours because we don't do like overnight jobs or anything like that.
Yeah.
I imagine it's at least several hours, and since that one is more of like a high quality or kind of intricately printed design, there'd probably be at least a few bucks, something like that. I had to ballpark it.
As someone, like when they come, they bring their file and it gets, stay here, they come back, like, what is that?
Most often they'll come back because we'll take the file in person or sometimes like over email. We've been trying to push that as well, just to make it kind of easier to coordinate so the file gets to the right person. And then we'll just reach out to them when it's ready. We don't really have like much of an expectation of like it'll be ready on this day at this time. So we definitely don't want to make that promise.
Yeah.
Any more questions for Stacy or Wes?
Let's give a little shout out to the Friends for originally sponsoring the Library of Things, because it's all through, I think it was Giving Tuesday. Raised the money for the first generation. So thank you.
Absolutely.
Wes and Stacey, just want to give a little bit about yourselves.
Yeah, all right.
And a little introduction. You went right into a presentation.
Awesome though, right?
Sure. So I've worked here for a little over a year and a half. Prior to this, I was working at the Southfield Public Library. It's where I got my, I was working as an intern there as I was getting my MLS degree, and then transitioned into full-time there. Otherwise, I went to Eastern Michigan for my undergrad. I have a bachelor's in philosophy, and then decided, kind of amidst the pandemic and the world being upside down and a lot of stuff changing, to change course and get into library work. And it's been a really big passion of mine since then.
I started here initially in the circulation patron services role right before COVID hit. And then I transferred over to this department about a little over a year ago and stuff, and I'm really enjoying it. Prior to doing this, I was living in Chicago and doing fun stuff there. My degree is actually in journalism, so I'm so sad to hear you all thinking that the papers are gonna go. But I saw it coming earlier, so. And so, but yeah, so I'm excited to continue to grow here.
Excellent. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You guys want to know our?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. I don't even know what this is.
Is that-
Yeah. Same. This is. No. It's shiny.
I don't know Cookie Monster. I don't know all the other people.
Sweet.
Makes sense as well. Anybody else gonna share?
Well, I share I'm the animal.
He's animal.
Animal.
Oh, yeah, I'm Fozzie Bear.
I say it with your face. Stacy, did you take it?
I'm Scooter.
Yes.
I really wanted to be Janice because I put lipstick in there.
Hey, Ernie, I think you're the guy with the hairstyle, because you change your hair all the time.
Yeah, Beaker.
Has anybody beat her?
Yeah.
Wondered, I think we met somebody who was.
Yeah, I know Adrian's a beaker. Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
This is a long one.
Maybe.
There's silly something like just like I over here.
Maybe.
That's a different question. I'm animal. Yeah.
Say both of our supervisors are animals, so I feel it's like I do the leadership. I don't know.
Oh, he's.
Somebody was like
Yeah.
that was been.
You could.
Up and
All
down.
right, thank you. Yeah, so much.
You know, the whole thing.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
See you in Baker's face.
Baker's Foot. Baker's
The maker of food, I like
Bakerhood.
Right, so-
That's gonna be,
I'm sorry.
yes. That's what I had, like a productivity.
Alright, so, now that we have a quorum, we are going to revisit a few items on the agenda. So even though we're halfway through, I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Sure did.
I did.
Yeah, I will. And then Kathy seconded.
All right, it's been moved and properly seconded that we would approve the agenda as printed. Any discussion? All those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries. And that will bring us to the minutes. You should have received a copy of the August minutes in the board packet. We'll entertain a motion for approval of the August minutes.
So moved.
Okay, is there a second?
Okay.
Okay, it's been moved and properly seconded that we would approve the August board minutes as presented. Any discussion or corrections? Okay, all those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Jane.
Okay, I also abstain. Okay, motion carries. All right, that will bring us to the treasurer's report. Kathy, I'll turn it over to you.
Move the board approve the August 2025 operating bills totaling $416,204.91.
Is there a second? Right, been moved and properly seconded that it would approve the operating bills in the amount of $416,204.91. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And the motion carries.
I will move to receive and file the financial reports.
Second,
Okay.
okay, it's been moved and seconded that we would receive the financial reports. Any discussion? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion carries.
In Michigan class updates in August, earned income was $46,270.48. Our year-to-date earned income was $354,792.85. And our month-end balance was $12,527,939.60. On August 1st, our daily yield was 4.3951%, and on August 31st, it was 4.3346, so just a little.
All right, thank you, Kathy. Any questions for Kathy? All right, thank you very much. That will bring us to subcommittee updates. And so the first one is personnel. I think I will provide an update from personnel. First of all, thanks to Dilhara and the personnel committee, Kathy, Renee. we've spent every night this week together, actually. We've had a good time, interviewing a lot of the candidates. I think the great thing to say about librarianship is that we interviewed 6 people who all could run the library, right? So I think we had a great candidate pool, which is a good indicator of like the staff and what we're currently doing and the fact that people are attracted to FCL and want to come here. Yes. So with that being said, I want to ask trustees to please pay attention to your email as we look to finalize scoring, get candidates notified, and try to schedule second round interviews. So you'll probably be receiving stuff from Crystal next week, advising you of dates, times, etc. So if you have any questions about that, feel free to reach out to me or Dilhara, and we will give you an update. I do know that all of the packets will be forwarded to you guys so that you'll have an opportunity to review the candidate information that was reviewed by the committee in detail ahead of the second round of interviews. And I would encourage you all to do your homework as you look at the information that's shared. If you've got questions about what you see or the process or anything, reach out to the committee or whoever on the committee you'd like, or Delhara, and let us know so we can answer those questions for you. I'd be encouraged to be nosy. If there's candidates on there you don't know, find out about them, so all of that. All right. I don't think there's anything else for personnel. Any questions? All right. Seeing none, facilities is our next committee update. So Karen, I will turn the floor over to you.
Okay, we had a meeting this last week. And Steve came and made a presentation of where they're at, and there are 2 kind of rendering drawings that are used with some of the staff, and it showed and talked about making some changes to some of the initial plans, which included design ideas for the children's reference desk, display area, some schematic designs is what he's tried, some new ideas. So he's planning on, because October is a big finance meeting here for us, to come back in November and make the presentation of some renderings and some moves that he's made some changes from the initial phase 1. We didn't have time to do it. He doesn't have time to do it in the October meeting, so you can expect it in November. And let's see, he's going to also review after the review phase 3, once he shows the changes he's made to phases 1 and 2. Let's see, the construction manager, they're planning to get some RPFs out, and things are kind of moving along. And we made a point of including in the minutes that furniture costs, carpeting and so forth, and treatments are not architectural costs, that the furniture that you need
Carpeting is an architectural. Furnishing it. Carpeting and wall treatments are included.
Oh, include the architect, that's right. But the furniture and ours is soft cost, and we have to remember, if we make some changes, we're not gonna like the old chair that's sitting there or whatever, or in the wall, or a treatment, a special lamp or something like that. The other thing we have is the renovation of the restrooms, the main level. And the new materials is gonna have to be moved because that restroom takes more space up, so that's gonna be part of the change drawing it's gonna show. There's quite a change to where they want the friends books or whatever. I haven't seen all the description of that, but that'll come in November too. We also talk a lot about landscaping, and I think landscaping is really important, because if you're gonna make areas outside for people to sit and have snacks or whatever, that landscaping's got to be around those tables and chairs. And if we haven't been able to keep our landscaping nice now, it's much improved right now, then what we're gonna do when we make all these outside areas. So that's why I really think it's a driving force now, to get the people who are gonna do it for you, and can they do it, and do they do it competitively? So that's usually a topic. And HVAC, they decided to leave it to the new contractor to make a decision whether you need a brand new unit or try to remodel the old unit. So that's left with the hands of, he's gonna ask that engineer to make the choice for us, because there's a lot of discussion about what's better, to fix the whole thing now or just wait, fix the whole thing. So that's another topic. And the sign is coming, and you might have seen the groundbreaking, and that will have to be landscaped too. So hopefully Kathy will be able to landscape that quickly. So keep Kathy happy that it looks attractive. And you'll see that the fountain is working, the sprinkler was fixed, so the fountain does look nice. And they did clean up the area considerably, if you'll notice that. And I think, either, our wonderful note taker, thank you, thank you. Anybody else want to pitch in? Did I forget anything?
What I was gonna add is that he talked about like doing the FA elevator renovation. Waiting until we hired a construction manager to handle that project too, because otherwise the company that we hired would have had to hire their own. So we're just gonna loop that in as part of the phase 1 projects for FA.
We don't have a construction manager yet, but
But when we do.
That was gonna be my question. Thank you for the report, Sharon. That was great. What is the timing horizon for that RFP?
So they're working on it now.
Okay.
And so at the facilities meeting, I said, hey, what about the elevator? Because we had talked to him about it. He's like, no, I forgot to put that in there. So he's gonna put that in there. And the HVAC for Farmington, he was having his engineer look at it to see what, okay, so that might go under the construction manager too, depending on what the determination is, if you should just spend $25,000 to fix the one unit or wait for the addition. Put it all together.
Yeah.
Because whatever you put, because the addition itself will have its own,
Right.
so somehow those have to tie into.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the thoughtfulness around the coordination of all the various efforts, because there's a lot going on. And you're, Sharon, keeping up with it massively with Jill's help.
well, one of the things he says is that this project phase 1 is a 2025, 2026 project. So, it's not gonna be done in 2025, and if we finish it in 2026, we'll be doing really well.
Yeah.
So just to get a timeline.
Yeah.
You know, our money's earning interest, right?
Well, yes, and we need every bit of it to help pay for this. Sharon, also, I heard your committee was going on a field trip. Is that true?
Yeah.
The board completed.
There's a field trip, but it's not really a facilities committee.
Okay.
So Kathy is going, and Renee is going, and myself to meet with Shauna at the Plymouth Library to just ask how their project's going, how much they're spending, and do they have some tips about what we might not do that they've tried and didn't work out. It's a mission trip to just see what our neighbors are doing.
Well, I would expect you all to give us a report, return, or invite us if you don't mind us joining you. So.
Oh,
Okay.
and it's informal meeting at 12 o'clock.
You're all welcome.
All right.
I really sympathize with Kelly because I've tried to coordinate a couple of meetings and, this one can come and this one can't come and then I can't come. And you spend a lot of time emailing back and forth, and I'm really sympathetic to Kelly trying to get everybody at all these meetings,
That's why when we went to Redford, I asked Crystal to do that. I never got done if I was responsible for that, so.
I'll keep that in mind.
It's just your strength.
It's good to know what you're good at, right? And what you're not good at. All right, thank you so much, Sharon. I think finance, oh, yes.
Yes, we haven't met formally, but what we have talked about past is ways to donate to the library. Monies, possibly getting grants, updating our website for ways to give, possibly having naming rights when we get our new building up and running. But Jill and Sherry and Sarah are meeting now or will be meeting?
We'll be meeting, and I think it is next Friday.
Okay, and at that point, you're gonna discuss some of this stuff.
Yeah, so basically what we're gonna discuss is, I think, fundraising and sponsorship for phase 1, is that correct?
Yeah, just like what are our ideas to market? More about marketing,
Mhm. And in the lead up to that meeting, I talked with Stacy to kind of get an idea of her thoughts of if somebody's looking to donate to the library, donating to the Friends versus donating to us directly, and kind of what the Friends see as their role versus the library if we were to set up like a foundation or something like that. And Stacy, I don't want to speak for you necessarily, but Stacy's idea, her kind of thought is that, you know, if the library has something like a millage or a bond or something that they need to get passed, the Friends are more than excited to be our cheerleaders and the grassroots fund, not only funding that kind of campaign, but leading that. And that the Friends, you know, they will continue to support our large scale programs and any like new initiatives that we're thinking about. And so one of the things that we're going to talk about too is how to differentiate the marketing for the Friends funding versus if they want to donate directly to the library.
Beautiful. Yeah, not to interrupt your report. But like thinking through, you know, all of us are kind of working on this activity at the board level, kind of assessing this whole conversation around foundation or not, you know, what that structure looks like. So that really is probably the primary thing the finance committee will be moving at this point to bring a recommendation back to the full board around that. And so Stacy will definitely kind of connect with you about that and about some of those levels that you're thinking about, just so we're kind of in lockstep. And I think, you know, we're really interested for you guys to have your meetings and give us some insights and thoughts around what you're thinking. Makes sense for us, and kind of move from there. So everybody's focused on the right thing. Same thing, raising money.
That's all.
All right. Thank you, Kathy. All right, that will bring us to unfinished business. I don't believe we have any. So that will bring us to new business. 2026 library closures is what we have on the agenda. I do believe that the proposed or draft agenda or draft schedule was sent out.
Should be in the. Make copy.
So any initial, well, let's wait for Kelly to come back. You'll probably need to answer questions around this.
Oh, it's the M shirts, you know, I'm married to an M guy. You don't see me put my big Michigan State shirts on.
Just so braggadocious, that's it. Yeah.
It's a hard life, you know, the splits.
Listen, any school.
I used to tell, years ago I taught school, and I tell my students in Marco, you know, I went to Michigan State, we went to the Rose Bowl, we could have gone 2 years in a row, but you weren't allowed to, and they went, when was that? It's a long time ago. They must have been good, I said they were good.
There's one other thing you need to do for the strategic plan too, but that's a retreat, so.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so we need to talk about that.
Thank you.
Right, so we've got a draft to propose the library closures for 2026. So Kelly, you or Jill want to kind of take us through this and what's different from.
Want me to get the last year's list? So the difference would be. We suppose New Year's Day, those are in the employee handbook, New Year's Day, Easter Sunday, Memorial Day weekend, July 4th. But when it falls on the weekend, so the July 4th falls on Saturday, so generally they ask for 4th and the 5th. This time what's new is the Friday, July 3rd. And this is just for your. That one I'm going to recommend because the day that they get paid is the Saturday. So that means they have to take a day off during the week. Everybody has to take a day off in the week, because otherwise if you get paid for Saturday and you have to work Monday through Friday, you're now working 48 hours.
I'm confused. Why are they getting paid on Saturday?
Because that's the July 4th is what they get paid for.
Oh,
That's the holiday.
That's the
they
holiday.
get paid for the holiday.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why they need another day off?
Well, they don't need enough, yes, exactly. Otherwise they're at 48 hours.
They have to take a holiday day off, right?
Yes, and so if you're closed on Friday, July 3rd, that's the day they get technically. You're paying them Saturday, Friday's everybody's day off, and you're 40 hours.
So then why do they get off on Sunday?
Because of it's the weekend, usually that's, if it falls on the weekend, it's just the whole weekend.
Yeah, I looked last year, July, we had 3 days off. So that's kind of what I'm looking at to see, is it consistent with the number of days we had off for that holiday event? So we had 3 days last year. It's consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just to clarify, so what you're saying is this is the same number of days as the current 2025.
Yeah.
For Independent Day, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if the 4th of July falls on a weekday, then there's not 2 days off.
No.
One, it's just the 1 day, right? Because it's the weekend, then do it off as well.
Right. Labor Day's the same, September 5th, 6th, and 7th, that is in the handbook. November 11th is Staff and Service Day, so that's what we have that day. This year, the Thanksgiving Day, we're always board voted years ago that Wednesday, we would close at 3 p.m. on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Thursday, Thanksgiving is one of those days you get paid for, and then what they're asking for this year is Friday after Thanksgiving. So that's different.
They have the whole weekend off too, and then they get a nice vacation.
That was how you really feel, Sharon.
So,
I'm kind of no vote on that.
December 24th and 25th, that's Thursday, Friday. With that is same week, it's in the handbook, December 24th and 5th, you're closed, you get paid for those days. 26th and 7th is the Saturday and Sunday, they're asking for that, so that is different. And
What the heck?
December 31st and January 1st, that's in the handbook that you get paid and we're closed those days, but they're also at big, and that again is Thursday, Friday, they're asking for Saturday, Sunday.
I'll just say once, we are open to serve the public. It's their library should be here when they need it. It shouldn't be there it shouldn't be there when we feel that we want to close it to give someone another day to match up with something else. We serve the public. And all these days, like not being open in January, after the holiday, doesn't make any sense to me at all. I can understand about July 4th is special, it's fine, but and like Thanksgiving, you have the evening off, you have the Thanksgiving Day. It doesn't mean you get another holiday, because where do we take our kids to go to the library if they have off all these days? That's how I feel about it. I'll go along with what Kelly's recommendation was, but I would vote no if it was my vote for all these other ones that are over and above the usual.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, for clarification, like this item wouldn't be a line by line vote, it'd be voting on the whole package of things.
You can make changes.
So we can make a change.
Okay, for us to define
Yeah.
what our motion looks like and which ones we want to include. I don't have any disagreement with what Sharon shared. I know when I first came on the board, I was very interested to understand. I mean, we're going through all the personnel type things. So I was looking at our holiday schedule compared to all the other libraries, and I found it to be pretty generous. There were a few that may have had a few more days off than we had, but we were kind of right up there. So I feel like we have a pretty generous holiday schedule as it is. I'm not in a favor for approving really any additional days closed than we currently have, because we also hear from the public quite regularly that we're not all open enough hours, right? So I think as we go forward, thinking about staffing even next year, Kelly, Jill, Maria, like, do we need to expand staffing a bit so that you can have holiday coverage and the bulk of people could be off all these days if they needed to, but the library could still be available and open. So I think that's the way I would approach it, is by saying, hey, the board supports increased staffing to kind of expand the availability of the library, because that's a general ask we have from the public right now. But
Keep in mind, we're going to be asking for a bond issue and a renewal millage. So now if somebody says, my kids came to the library twice and it was closed, still on holiday or whatever, and we're asking for a lot for the public in the next few years.
yeah, I think that's an important point. You want that experience, and that's kind of what Sarah and I were talking about. Even through the construction projects, like, you want the experience to still be as positive as possible, because we're going to then be asking the public for funds. So yeah, I agree with you. Any other thoughts on this? I mean, we'll have time for discussion. You probably need to formulate a motion somehow about what we want to approve. But go ahead, Steve.
Just for comparison purposes, like a side by side, if we want to look at the 2025.
Sorry.
Great, thank you.
That's
But,
for.
yeah, but similar.
And see this, you got Tuesday. 2 days in December, which is fine. 2 stands and 2 lights a lot.
Are you working on the motion?
No. Read it. Read it. Sorry to be selfish.
He's taking notes.
Yeah.
I feel like once that he may have something available.
2 days here.
I can try a motion. Motion to accept draft schedule for 2026 library closure as written, minus November 27, December 26, 27, and just January 2 and 3.
Simplifying something
You
that seems
did.
right. Thank you, Renee. Is there a second?
A second.
All right, so we moved and properly seconded that we would have established the closure schedule as printed, with the exceptions that Renee identified. Any discussion?
Just repeat them for me.
Minus November 27.
And not
Which is-
26, just 27.
Well, 26 is
26 is Thanksgiving.
26 is Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah.
okay. Okay,
So it's the day after Thanksgiving.
27.
27, December 26 and 27, and January 2 and 3.
All those in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the motion carries. Thank you. And, do express our appreciation to the staff. I don't take lightly requests for time off. I understand what's the valid, time with family and all the things, that we certainly support that. But we definitely need to balance the public's stated need for library service to be open. So that's really our priority. All right, so that will bring us to correspondence. We don't have Jim here. Are you aware of any correspondence, Kelly?
I am not.
Okay. Public comment. Do we have any members of the public or people who are posing as the public right now? Okay. Do we have any trustee comments?
Yes, that would be.
Yes, Kathy.
Okay, so I attended the Grand River Corridor meeting today, this morning, 8 o'clock. And I have sent you the packet that covers everything that was talked about, including screenshots. But they adopted the 2025-26 budget. Their ending fund balance was $364,189. And that's a 4-year capture. So they capture money from us and they capture money from Farmington to fund these things. So they figured that it'll probably be spending $101,000 in their this fiscal year. And the master plan committee updates included projects at the Farmington Plaza, which is at Mooney and Grand River. The one that's pretty much abandoned all the time. The winery, the areas around Radio Shack at Grand River and Tower Road, and the residential buildings where the old American Legion Hall is located. Then they shared thoughts about road dieting. I don't know if you've ever heard about that.
What did you say?
Road
Dieting, yes.
They take out some lanes.
Like in
Make bike lane.
Like
Yeah.
And they talked about maybe doing that down
Yeah.
Grand River from Orchard Lake to where it is now through Farmington. And, you know, I'm not sure about that one.
Well,
Huge project.
if you want to see an example of it, really, I didn't think it worked. They did it on Jefferson Avenue in Detroit. If you go
It
east,
slows traffic down coming into that.
so like an example.
Where's the Jefferson?
East, down by Boabic that way, if you go east from the right downtown, yeah, they did that.
And you know, to me, it would work if you had a lot of buildings and storefronts that you have down in Farmington itself.
Walking.
Yes, but just to do that, you know.
But that's probably what they're trying to promote.
Yes,
And trying to
exactly.
promote biking, like, you should have seen Miss Maria trying to get out on the bookmobile bike down Grand River.
Well, the other thing they spoke about was the need for mobility trails and bike lanes. And they talked about this, I think I've heard of it, the 9 line, which is a project for bikes, which will start in Hazel Park and end up in South Lane. So it will go down 9 Mile. So that's going to affect us. To me, that's a cool thing, except I think it's pretty dangerous where you get onto the freeway south of Farmington Road.
Oh,
That's
I
really
feel
scary.
like that.
Yeah.
I'm nervous in a car doing it.
Yes, exactly. So that's primarily all I had to state.
So what do they use in the 100 and 1000?
Well, for those things, those
okay.
projects.
Oh,
Yes.
It would be nice to see that plaza.
Oh, my
Good.
gosh. Well, I have to tell you now, my family moved in here in 1957. So that's 60 some years. And that used to be a wonderful filled place. You know, every building was filled and with high quality stuff, you know, and then slowly it just got abandoned and whatnot. Yeah, the only one that's been there for quite a while is Framery 1, which is a nice place to get your stuff framed. I'm glad to see that that's one of the things that they're gonna try to take care of.
Well, Kathy, thank you for getting up at whatever time to be there at 8 o'clock for us.
Okay.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Thing to do on your birthday. Jeez.
Like pastry or something? Was there something?
There's some stickers.
You know, last night.
Yeah.
But I do think though, like the materials Kathy sent, we probably will look through all of us, because I've got more questions. I'd like to know like exactly what they're spending the rest of the time.
Like, I was looking, expecting pictures or anything like that. There's nothing.
Well, they did show where the corridor was and it showed.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
we've seen that before.
Yeah.
That was from recycled from the last time I presented. But it shows that Farmington Hills is a lot longer of the corridor than Farmington. And they didn't say much of what Farmington Hills was doing.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
So they don't pay, the Farmington Hills doesn't pay into the
Oh,
corner?
yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do, but I haven't heard anything about what they're gonna do.
We might investigate that and just kind of stay along for the ride. So I'm sure as it goes, all of us will probably have a chance to join their 8 o'clock meeting. Or maybe they'll move it to an alternative time.
Yeah.
That might make it available to more people.
Well, this subcommittee, or this committee meets twice a year. That's what they said.
Didn't-
Well, I mean, for the public, then.
Yeah.
I would be on the
Required
public
to
there.
have.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you were the only public there.
Yes, I was. But I got considered the boob table. So.
That is so interesting.
Yeah.
So many thoughts, but thank you for the update.
Need some more.
All right, any other trustee comment? Right, with that, I think we can consider ourselves adjourned. Thank you all very much.